Giving it a second to make sure it's really working.
I think it's working, Debbie.
Okay.
As we start, we have our first visitor is, of course, Nala that just walked by, so that's sweet.
But they couldn't see her.
No, they couldn't see her.
Well, it's time for the Shabbos show. We've had so much fun doing this. What week are we, Barry?
I think this is week 5.
Sometimes we call Barry Regis. Sometimes we don't.
Yep. And you're much better than Kathy Lee. Nothing against Kathy Lee.
We have been so excited all week, at least I have, for what we're going to talk about today. So we're all preparing. We're getting ready for the sun to set, and things are going to shift in the magical way that they shift for Shabbos, for Shabbat. And everybody has their own rituals, whatever they may be. Part of what Barry and I do is like we finish work. So we get kind of frenetic right about now. Once services go on, it's 6:15, which is a whole different place to go to, right? Because now that's, once they're on our television, everything stops. It used to be once we got in our car on the way to go to the temple, that's when everything stopped.
And even if we were late going to temple,
that was rare though, wasn't it?
yeah, that was only virtually every week.
They call us the late childs. Actually, we named ourselves that.
We did, and then it kind of got around, and they kind of see us going in late.
But we hi Mindy, but we would like drop the bills in the mailbox, on the way, and like literally finish everything that equated work to us. And that's another reason why this time is so sweet. And so I wrote down a few little things all in different places. But one thing that I've really been reading and focusing on is that it is the merit of observing Shabbat that brings us blessing. And I don't know if you feel that, but it's not always easy to do Shabbat, even though it sounds like, right, a couch potato's dream. It sounds so wonderful. We're all going to stop and we have permission to stop. But, for some people, it's not so easy to stop. Is it easy for you to stop, Barry?
It is sometimes last minute, and we're dropping something off at the mailbox on the way to temple. But when it's time to stop, we really work hard at stopping. It means a lot to both of us.
Yeah, it does. It's quite challenging. So last week we had fun with everyone, and we worked on these homemade candles, if you remember that, if you were with us last week. Look, here's the little string. So I didn't want to cut them and make them ready till we were with you guys, because we really look forward to that. So there they go.
We've gotten a huge contracts for they're not huge.
Not perfect.
They didn't ask us to stop making them for money. They just asked us to stop making them, period.
So that's the candles. But we have something really special that we have been working on. And that is a special challah. And I am so psyched about this challah because this particular challah that we're going to talk about, guess what? It happens only one time in the whole year.
What do you mean one time?
Just once.
Why would it just be one time?
Because it's just this very, very special minhag. Do you know what a minhag is, Barry?
No, explain it.
It's just a Hebrew word meaning custom. So this is a very, very special minhag. And the challah that I've been working with today is called a shlisel challah. And it's hard. Shlissel. Schlissel means key in Yiddish. So, and I'm totally so psyched after this for you to say, Debbie Levy is like full of it again, and go Google it.
Google it and say it 3 times really fast. Schlissel.
Schlissel. I can barely say it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I've been working on it today. So there are so many beautiful stories. You're going to get enveloped in all of this warmth when you read about these challahs. And meaning key, right? It's about like if you leave a space where a key would go for God, Everything becomes very opened up and blessed. And, there's little sacred things you can read about that this will, enhance your livelihood or your home. And so a lot of people do different things. They bake their home key right in their challah. So I want you to know, I just, anything that I can embody.
Hold a second. You're saying you would bake a challah and you put a key inside of it?
Uh-huh. But I've run our front door key through the dishwasher 3 times and scrubbed it to do this. The other things you'll see for the photographs that are so beautiful and the videos and everything are doing the braid like you do for Friday, but you actually make the challah in the shape of a key. People find antique old keys and they press them in the top. Now, listen, for your oven and whatever, don't hold me responsible. Do your deal or whatever, or make it out of dough or whatever. You can be as inventive as you want. But the only time that this challah is made is the very first Shabbat after Passover, when we're back to using our chametz again. So this is the Shabbat for that. Okay.
I'm excited.
Are you ready to see it?
I can't believe that you made a challah with a key in it.
Well, the first one doesn't have a key baked in it.
Well, what's it
Let
look
me show
like?
you. Okay. I realize I should have left it on the baking sheet because then other stuff's not in the way. I think. See, it's a key. Now, in its baking and in its rising, the circle came together. I would have liked a little bit of a bigger space. I'll turn it this way. See? It's a shlichel challah. Isn't it beautiful? And I can't believe it all worked, and every little piece is braided. So pretty to remind us of this particular Shabbat. And the key, now hold on and I'll show you. I have another one rising, so hold on.
How long is that?
I'll leave this here.
How long has that challah been ready?
10 minutes. Because it's a process. Now this is the one. Can they see? I don't know.
Oh, let's see.
This is the one that's rising right now. This is my second one. Okay. And this one, I made a little key on top. Yeah, it needs the light over here. I made a little key on top. But when things rise, the shape shifts dramatically, and that's a cool thing. And then I had a little piece for you to see. I don't know if you could see it. You have to come up close. Do you see my front door key poking out?
It's so funny.
A tiny bit. You see the little sparkle? There it is. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of extra blessing. We're not going to eat it, believe me. Now, it's not done rising yet. It needs still some time, so I have to cover him back up, and there he goes for another minute. But I want to read you a couple things about this extra special challah. The custom probably began in the Russian Ukraine, where dough in the shape of a key was placed on the first challah served after Passover. The key represented the key to the gate of release from the bondage of Egypt. According to tradition, the gate of release can be opened for 1 month after the festival. And then other things I read say, the gates of heaven are open for this very short time, and that this challah is a very important piece. At any rate, all the things, I'll show you. This has some pictures. See?
So this has nothing to do with that we were just tired of eating matzah every single day for 8 days.
There are those who bake their challah in the shape of a key, some who bake a challah and merely add on a piece of dough in the shape of a key, and then there is the tradition of baking a key into the challah. Still, there are others who actually bake their challah to look like the unleavened matzah. This key is added in to allude to the gates of heaven that are kept open from Passover or second Passover. There are so many things to read about this custom, so many beautiful things. And one thing that I want to remind you is to put your 2 drops of frankincense in your challah, because that's the way that it was. And let me think if I was going to read you something else. Segula, a good omen. That's part of what this is all about.
So segula means a good omen?
Yes. And also to remind ourselves, and I know this is going to fit in with what you want to talk about today, that we depend on God for our basic nutrition. And every time we bring God into what we are making with our hands and this challah, and we're making this special one, and I know it's given me a lot of joy today to form this really, really special challah. But just that reminder that we depend on God for basic nutrition. And I feel very lucky that I have the ingredients at my home right now to be able to fulfill this and many other mitzvot, whether they've been, making harosis last week or my lamb shank for the Seder plate. And I know you wanted to add on to that.
We've been fortunate because we've been able to eat well, and we're lucky with the careers we have and where we are right now in the world. But when we see the long lines for food, it really struck us deeply. So we're trying to maybe you can join us in helping out your food banks, and it may be your Texas food bank right here in Dallas, or it could be in Jackson, Mississippi food bank where Mike Baker is. But we're really, it hit us hard to believe that people are just struggling that much.
And watching the national news last night, and they said, we're going to Dallas, Texas. And I think Barry and I just sat down and just even a little harder in our seats. And as much fun as this all is, and getting to show you what we're doing while we try to stay healthy and our safe distance and all of those things, that we sure are lucky that we can get those things from the store, the flour and the eggs and the butter and the precious ingredients.
We are. So, mentioning ingredients, you probably know this already, but this week's Torah portion is shemini.
Get out of here.
It's shemini. Now, wait. Don't get confused with the Torah portion of shemini and shemini Atzeret, which is one of my favorite holidays that comes towards the end of Sukkot.
I almost went there.
I know, who would have thought? So, shemini is kind of fun, and one of the things that has to do with shemini is learning the kosher laws. Can you believe that? So we're doing all this stuff, and we're still trying to learn about kosher laws.
Still all about the food and the blessings of food and how to act responsibly with food and, all of the joy that our nourishment gives us.
Yes, it's great. Mm-hmm. Thank you for the hard work which you did about this. This key is I can't
Can you
believe
say it?
Not schlitzel. That will be a TV show.
No, that's Stitzel.
Oh, Stitzel. I can't even say that correctly.
It might be, no, that's Steitzel.
Whatever. Okay, but it's actually good, but it's in subtitles.
Which is good for us.
It's good for everyone.
Okay. Schlitzel. Schlissel. I'm so good at pronunciation. Schlitzel. Challah. That's what it is. And then I wanted to bring up one more small point and see if anyone shares this with me and if it's worth discussing in the week ahead. And that is that we get so excited, this time that leads up to sunset, this little bit of frenetic activity, get the last this done. We'll run the vacuum really quick. We'll fold that last load of laundry. We'll put away the groceries. The dinner will be in the oven. We're really ready. And then comes the time to actually enjoy it and partake in the mitzvah of Shabbat.
Really?
Yes. So, which you already know this, but...
Is there any...
resting?
Resting? I forgot I have to balance a checkbook tomorrow. Oh, doggone it, forgot.
Mow the yard.
Mow the yard? I'm sorry, honey, I can't mow the yard tomorrow.
Or any day.
Or any day. Actually, no, I can't. I wouldn't.
But that's the thing that I wanted to talk about. I'm working hard to embrace stopping. And I know for different people, we have different challenges, but for me, that's really hard. I'm enjoying studying and learning Hebrew. And so that's going to be part of my Shabbat tomorrow. But being inside and depending on if it's raining or not, the nice big walk, I get so ready to embrace this time like today as I run around and, well, you know what it looks like over here.
Pretty busy.
Pretty busy. And then it settles in And I'm wondering, what do you do with your day? I'd love to talk about that with you. We just do things that give us a lot of joy. We connect with our kids and our friends, and we enjoy our nourishing meals, and we enjoy morning services. But sometimes the actual quiet, the actual stopping the wheels turning, the stillness that I talk so much about in yoga, mindfulness, and meditation, in a really unstructured way, all of that 24 hours can be challenging. I'd love to know what you all think of that.
I like that I learned a new word today. Minhag, Hebrew word for meeting custom.
Mm-hmm.
So customs, which is similar to or different from rituals.
Mm-hmm.
And
Very similar, yeah.
And it's also would be fun to hear about what everyone else's rituals are. We have our rituals that kind of help us enjoy life. And we've missed a few rituals by not going out to dinner.
Yeah.
And going to a particular restaurant on Saturday mornings before Shabbat start, during Saturday
before
mornings.
services, yep.
Yep. So.
And look at how our rituals have changed with, like you're saying, with shelter in place. Just completely different. Now our ritual is dinner in the oven, challah wine candles out here on the counter, television on to see services, and then when it's over, we break bread with everyone, we do the motzi, and we put our one dish supper out. That certainly didn't exist before, did it?
No, but tonight it'll be different. And why is this night different from all other nights? Tonight I have to be careful, even though I have Jimmy Reisman, my dentist, on call. Hopefully I won't chew into the key and break a tooth.
I wouldn't let him break a tooth. But I'm going to show this challah one more time. So in case you're just joining us and you missed it, this is the one that's baked already. The shlishel challah, which I can barely say. All like braided. Looks like a key. And then the other one. Hold on. And it's still rising. It's going to bake in a little bit. It's so exciting. I think that's why I'm trying. It's not completely done yet. It needs a little bit more time. And it has the key on the outside, the little one that I made. And then just you can see the little tiny. I think you can see it better here. I don't know. There's just this little place where you can see the little flash of the key from our front door, which is also a lot about God blessing the home and everything we're doing. And so, I don't know.
Debbie, this is fun. Thank you for teaching me something new about challahs, which we love, and you make them every week, but except during Passover. And how much fun is this? I learned something new again.
Did I tell you that some people make these shlishel challahs in the shape of a piece of matzah, and they put the little holes in it? Interesting. I can't wait for you all to look it up.
Fun. Thank you, Debbie.
Shabbat shalom, Barry.
Shabbat shalom, Debbie.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. Have a wonderful, restful, healthy Shabbos.